Hello everyone, welcome back to Sports Khabri, Curious Harry and Arun Foot. We are Arnav and Hiren and I'm Rahul. The results got a sting, I think, in the end for Manolo Marquez and FC Goa. 2-0 to Northeast United after they they conjured up quite a few chances throughout the game, but didn't take them, Goa, in the end. And penalty call that went Northeast's way, and then a second which was unlucky for Ode, sort of sealed the deal and provided Northeast the result on the night. Now, what do you make of the game, and how would FC Goa fans take this result? Because it's one that had to go their way, and despite creating chances, playing well, it just didn't happen for them.
Good evening, everyone. It's a very interesting scenario which is sort of evolving in the Indian Super League. We would have said before the AFC Asian Cup break, oh, you know what, FC Goa looks good. Blasters look very, very strong. Maybe Odisha can challenge them. But, those are the teams, right? Mohun Bagan was having problems. Mumbai City, had changes. The top six race didn't look as interesting as it is suddenly now. And they're under pressure. And FC Goa did have their chances, but I think this is not a game where you can say, the win is not really deserving, to Northeast United. They did their job, and FC Goa are not as clear cut as they have been at the start of the season. And you see clearly two big differences. Victor Rodriguez is missing up front, and Sandesh Jingan is missing at the back.
Certainly, Arnav. But here, in my eyes, it looked like it was a game FC Goa should have won. I mean, in hindsight, do you think? Again, Arnav mentioned Victor Rodriguez, but couple of chances for Carlos Martinez, and then a couple of chances for Carl McHugh as well. And you just think that they didn't take the chances as well on the night. Otherwise, it could have been a very different result.
First of all, hello to everyone, and I agree with you. And I think हमने preview में भी ये बात की थी. This is the story of the second half. The finishing is the issue. Where Carlos Martinez second half नोहा सदोई का performance देख लीजिए, आप चाहे ब्रैंडन का देख लीजिए, बोरिस देख लीजिए, they creating the chances. You are right. Victor Rodriguez की कमी जरूर उनको खल रही है, but still they are creating a quite enough chances to win a match if you see, and particularly in first half also. So I think that is the big headache for the for Manolo Marquez at the moment, to be honest. And I think I think Kerala Blaster and FC Goa, these are the two teams in first half of the season. Just sir ne mentioned kiya ki looks like they are in the title race, but at the crucial point in this break of Super Cup, I think they lose the momentum. And both the teams, if you see in the Super Cup, didn't perform as per their expectation, to be honest. I think सुपर कप में भी नॉर्थ ईस्ट ने आई थिंक उनको हराया था या फिर ड्रॉ किया था एफसी गोवा के साथ, अगर आप देखेंगे. सो दे बोथ द टीम्स लूज अ मोमेंटम एट द वेरी क्रूशियल पॉइंट, क्या बोलते हैं, टाइम ऑफ द सीजन. एंड आई थिंक वो कहीं ना कहीं अब दोनों को हर्ट कर रहा है. इफ यू सी केरला आल्सो लूजिंग बैक टू बैक मैचेस. Now FC Goa lose 2. Next match is going to be interesting. Kerala versus FC Goa. Completely, you can say ki both either one of them will be, you can say ki step back from the you can say ki sealed race. So Manolo Marquez needs to find a solution, and I think there are not much option also. So I think finishing is the one of the issue. And today interesting to see Ode Wanadia and Neem Dorji in the backline. Carl McHugh again back into the midfield with Ayush Chetri. So that's the interesting change, but still they are struggling. And this loss is also, you can say कि थोड़ा सा confidence इससे और ज़्यादा down होगा कि आपके home पे match. You need to win this match. You lose back-to-back matches at the home. So that's also one of the factor कि जहाँ पे आपको थोड़ा सा आपका confidence down होता है. So definitely FC Goa के लिए problem. And Northeast United again they back into the, you can say कि that 6th position race. So I think सील्ड रेस से ज्यादा मेरे को लगता है कि 6th पोजीशन की रेस ज्यादा इंटरेस्टिंग होने वाली है एंड ऑफ द डे, बिकॉज देयर आर यहाँ पे तो आपको एक सर्टन थोड़ा सा पैटर्न देखने को मिल रहा है कि चलो भाई गैप बनता दिख रहा है. वहां पे गैप ही नहीं बन रहा. एक मैच जीतेगा नॉर्थ ईस्ट, दूसरा वो ड्रॉ करेगा, फिर से पॉइंट लूज करेगा. एक जमशेदपुर जीतेगा, दूसरा हारेगा. बीएफसी एक मैच जीतेगा, फिर से हारेगा. ईस्ट बंगाल एक जीतेगा, एक हारेगा. चेन्नई कमिंग बैक, पंजाब एफसी आल्सो इनटू रेस. So there are everyone in 6th position race. I think everyone is there, but I think in sealed race definitely अब FC Goa भी बाकी टीम के साथ में आ चुका है. I think अब अगर आप मैच इन हैंड एंड पॉइंट्स वाइज देखें तो मोहन बगान is in you can say कि clear 1 point ahead. If they beat Odisha FC next match, then they are 1 match in hand and 1 point ahead. So that's a quite interesting turnaround after the you can say कि half season break.
Yeah, absolutely. And even Knight saying that the Goa finishing was poor today and probably cost them in the end. Now, we were talking about the table. Hiren just mentioned it. It's become so close and so tight, and it's getting more interesting as days go by. Odisha sitting on top 15 games. They've got 31 points. Second place, Hiren just mentioned Mohun Bagan, 2 points less. They've played a game fewer and they play Odisha next. So it's becoming very very interesting. Suddenly, Mumbai City 14 games, 28 points, looking like they're in a good position after people were questioning what they were doing. So again, like I'm not going to ask you to call it, but yeah, where do you see? Where do you think this is going? Is it has it become a top? Has it become a battle for between four teams rather? And would you say the Blasters are sort of haven't done themselves too many favors in the last few weeks?
I would think that the Blasters have a very interesting game on Sunday. That's against FC Goa. And I think for both these teams, it's a very, very crucial game. Whoever wins most probably stays in the race. If one of those two teams loses, because I think it's a question also of momentum after that. If you've lost, Blasters now lost 5 matches in Super Cup and ISL. Goa have now lost 2 at home. It's a match of crisis. And the interesting thing is also, if you look at the other teams, slowly but surely they're closing in. And if they keep on picking up the points like this, if Blasters and FC Goa don't sort themselves out and start getting points again, and that doesn't mean a draw but wins, if they get stuck by 32 points, someone might actually catch them. So therefore, this is a very, very, very interesting scenario, I would think, at the moment. It creates a lot of opportunities because you have, again, Odisha Mohun Bagan on Saturday, Mumbai visit Chennai or Chennai on Friday. So that's an interesting one. So suddenly Mohun Bagan and Mumbai, if they win their next match, the two where you thought, again, as I said, pre-Christmas or around Christmas, New Year's, these two teams are out of the race. They could be at it again like they were in the last year, right? So that's an interesting scenario which could arise out of nowhere because, again, Odisha hasn't played for a few days as well. They've had a long break after a lot of action in the ISL and then, of course, in the Super Cup. So therefore, I think, it's a very, very, it's a crazy scenario. And I would not call it at the moment. Even the Blasters, again, the Blasters just need to win, against FC Goa. They're on 29 and they're in the back in the thick of action. So therefore, that's it. And to me, no, none of the matches now. I think the deciding matches will come around match day 20, match day 21, match day 22.
Okay. I know it's going to. So you're saying that it's going to go down to the wire. Hiren, any idea about Tommy Urich's injury? It looked like he was holding. Looks like he's pulled his hamstring or quad. Not too sure, but like it looked like it.
बट आई थिंक मेरे को नहीं लगता कि उतना ज्यादा कोई सीरियस इंजरी है. आई थिंक मे बी थोड़ा सा प्रिकॉशनरी भी लगा मेरे को कि ज्यादा वो मतलब रिस्क नहीं लेना चाहते because he is the main man for now NorthEast United. I think 4 matches, 5 goals. He is scored.
No,
so
no,
I think
no. 3 matches, 5 goals. No.
पहले मैच में वो उसको एज ए सब्स्टिट्यूशन आया था, उसमें नहीं स्कोर किया था उसने. फिर 2 मैच उन्होंने स्टार्ट किया, उसमें 4 गोल मारे. और ये this is the fourth match.
I am counting the start. Yeah, 3 matches starting and 5 goals. Yeah, that's my calculation. Yeah.
So I think that's I would say one of the best window transfer signing for in ISL because the impact he is making is absolutely brilliant. जिस तरह से उन्होंने penalty भी win किया. चाहे भले ही soft आप बोल सकते, but that was a clear pen. You can't do anything about that. If you pull a shot in a box, then it will be a pen. So I think he is, and I think फर्स्ट हाफ में जो उसका और नेस्टर एलबीएच नहीं खेल रहे थे, उसका आपको क्लियर डिफरेंस सेकंड हाफ में देखने को मिला कि हाउ कैन बी कितना ज्यादा थ्रेटनिंग नॉर्थ ईस्ट यूनाइटेड हो सकता है. एंड फर्स्ट हाफ में उतना चांसेस इसीलिए वो नहीं बना पाए, बट सेकंड हाफ दे क्रिएटेड ए मच मोर यू कैन से कि chances also, and I think that's put a pressure on the FC Goa also. So I think he's going to be the really crucial man if they are going for that sixth position. एंड जैसे आपने बोला कि अगर केरला ब्लास्टर ज्यादा ड्रॉप करती है तो मे बी यू नेवर नो दे कैन गो फॉर दैट फिफ्थ पोजीशन आल्सो. सो आई थिंक नेस्टर एलबीएच, बट आई थिंक एक प्लेयर का परफॉर्मेंस मेरे को आज बात करना चाहूंगा, मिचेल जेवेटो. आई थिंक ही इज बीन ब्रिलियंट फॉर नॉर्थ ईस्ट यूनाइटेड in defense line. I think the defense line also needs to be step up, but I think his performance is also has been good. And Bemamer and I think Ragargui is also looking good. So quite interesting player in Pedro Benali's side. But I think it's a good win, away win 2-0. So that's a confidence booster.
Yeah, no, we were talking about this before this live started. If Northeast gone a little run here, and say the Blasters, who've got a couple of difficult games coming up, they drop points, then suddenly would you see the Blasters then sort of scraping to get back to make the top six? Is that a possibility at all?
Football is a crazy sport. Football is a crazy game. So I would never call out anything and say, this is going to happen or that's going to happen. Again, the Blasters need to win on Sunday against FC Goa. FC Goa need to win on Sunday. Otherwise, again, the league is still there and the other teams are getting the points. Who knows? Someone might catch them. We've had these situations. No? The team have come from the bottom, have moved up. Team have fallen from the top 4, top 5. This wouldn't be, so therefore, let's wait and see. I think they are under pressure. They have injuries. The question is, will also the foreigners settle in? What is the situation with Sachin Suresh? What is the situation with Leskovic? And is Fedic able to settle in as well? Fedor Cenic, can he settle in? So a lot of questions with the Blasters, and with FC Goa, there's a different kind of question: is can they find that magic touch again? It's sometimes small little margins. You see Arshdeep suddenly making mistakes. Who was rock solid, in the first half of the season. Noah Sudui is not firing anymore that much, right? Carlos Martinez had some very, very good chances, but all of the balls went over the goal. So it's a lot being asked of them, but the capabilities, the possibilities are there.
Yep. Hiren, how do you see this going? You were just going to say, sorry.
नहीं एफसी गोवा एग्री सर के साथ. आई थिंक जो फ्रंट लाइन मतलब जिस तरह से फर्स्ट हाफ ऑफ द सीजन में फायर कर रही थी, उस तरह से नहीं कर पा रही है. नोहा सदोई, कार्लोस मार्टिनेज, दिस आर द प्लेयर की दे नीड टू टेक अ रिस्पांसिबिलिटी एंड यू नीड टू स्कोर एटलीस्ट वन गोल. इफ यू सी फर्स्ट हाफ ऑफ द सीजन में गोवा ने काफी सारे मैच 1-0 से भी जीते. ऐसा नहीं कि सारे मैचेस उन्होंने हाई स्कोरिंग जीते. दे विन मैचेस विद द 1-0 स्कोर लाइन. एंड आई थिंक मिडफील्ड में भी जो मेरे को लगता है कि जो उनकी राइट साइड भी है, बोरिस सिंह और वो सब, उस साइड से भी उतना ज्यादा मतलब ये फर्स्ट हाफ ऑफ द सीजन में भी इसलिए क्या बोलते कि वो उतना ज्यादा एक्सपोज नहीं हुआ आपका, क्योंकि आप 1-0 के विन ले रहे थे और आपकी लेफ्ट साइड और आपका जो क्या बोलते कि अटैकिंग मिडफील्डर है विक्टर रोड्रिगेज, वो आपको काम करके दे रहा था. बट इवेंचुअली अगर आप देखेंगे उनका फर्स्ट हाफ ऑफ द सीजन तो भी राइट साइड ने उतना कॉन्ट्रीब्यूट किया ही नहीं. जहाँ पे फर्स्ट हाफ सीजन में आपका उदांता खेला, सेकंड हाफ में भी पोलिस को चांस दिया जा रहा है. So these are the things कि जहाँ पे एरिया ऑफ इम्प्रूवमेंट है, they needs to also take a responsibility because फॉर्म हमने देखा है, चाहे फॉरेन प्लेयर हो चाहे इंडियन प्लेयर हो, फॉर्म आपको ऊपर नीचे होगा. सो अदर प्लेयर्स नीड्स टू टेक अ रिस्पांसिबिलिटी, देन यू विन अ शील्ड. शील्ड आप जीतने के लिए आपके सारे प्लेयरों का क्या बोलते कि जो कंट्रीब्यूशन है, दैट्स प्ले रियली रियली क्रूशियल रोल. एंड आई थिंक मलोर मार्केस के लिए दैट्स द करंटली द बिग इशू कि 2-3 प्लेयरों का फॉर्म डीप होने से और 1-2 प्लेयर इंजर होने से the team looks completely, you can say, out of touch at the moment in terms of the scoring the goals. So I think that is the main issue. And definitely next match Kerala Blaster के सामने उस सेंस में इजी है, जैसे सर ने बोला कि एक आध दो प्लेयर इंजर्ड है. अगेन two key players, Sachin Suresh and Leskovic. Both are starting 11 play, and particularly keeper Carlos on. I think that's a big blow because Karamjit I think experienced keeper, no doubt about that. But काफी लंबे टाइम से वो खेले नहीं. Last match में he looks good, so let's see. But I think it's tough challenge for now FC Goa. I think for a sealed race because मोहन बगान ने जो पेस क्या बोलते हैं मोमेंटम पकड़ा है, जिस तरह की उनके पास टीम है मुंबई सिटी. आई थिंक क्या गोवा के 3 मैच है, केरला ब्लास्टर, मुंबई सिटी एंड ईस्ट बंगाल. So next 3 matches are really interesting for FC Goa, I would say. So I think sealed race will be आई थिंक धमाकेदार होने वाली है इस बार. बोलो आई थिंक बैटिंग भी आप नहीं कर सकते कि एक क्लियर कट विनर है, बिकॉज द पॉइंट डिफरेंस जब तक 2-3 पॉइंट डिफरेंस है, आप एक मैच आप ऊपर नीचे और अगेन यू आर बैक इनटू द रेस. अगर ये पॉइंट डिफरेंस 5 पॉइंट भी होता ना, तब भी आप बोल सकते थे कि हाँ भाई इस टीम के पास थोड़ा सा ब्रीथिंग स्पेस है, एक आध मैच ऊपर नीचे चला गया, स्टिल दे हैव यू कैन से कि चांस टू कम बैक. बट 2-3 पॉइंट में तो आपका एक मैच गया और आपकी फिर से क्या बोलते कि सेकंड प्लेस वाला कैन टेक ओवर.
Shaz was saying that Sachin's out for an extended period. Apparently, he needs surgery in his shoulder. So, yeah, that's that for the Blasters. Tomorrow we've got. I mean, it's every day is an important game. We keep saying it. Jamshedpur East Bengal are now tomorrow, and for the sixth spot, big game. Of course, the teams around them will be hoping for a draw. But both teams, I think, won their latest game. So, where do you see this one going?
It's an interesting scenario because East Bengal, traveled from Hyderabad straight to Jamshedpur, got prepared. The new midfielder Pantic is there, who's replacing Pardo. Jamshedpur have been doing exceptionally well under Khalid, and it's with NorthEast winning today, it puts pressure on both teams because even a draw is not enough. I mean, East Bengal normally has had 2 matches in hand, but now the matches are getting less and less, and it's going to be very, very interesting how this is going to pan out, because you'd like to see a draw as a BFC fan, but for the red and gold and for the red miners or the steelmen, it's very, very important to get a win, and I think there'll be a good crowd. Good crowd tomorrow. Pantic is a defender. Yeah, sorry, he came in for Pardo. Yeah, sorry, my mistake. It'll be good atmosphere. And it's going to be, I think, up to the weekend. This is the most exciting week of the ISL so far. This match round 16. Could be the most interesting. If you see today the match, you see tomorrow the match. Friday, Chennai hosting Mumbai City, which again, both teams need a win. Odisha, Mohun Bagan on Saturday. You have Punjab, Hyderabad. You have on Sunday. You have Blasters, Goa. There is so much to play for all these teams. There's a lot of pressure on all the sides to try and get results, because otherwise, BFC Hyderabad, I think, Punjab, that there is so much of pressure on all the teams to get 3 points, because a draw is now not good enough, because unlike in the first half of the season, you saw a lot of draws and you're swimming in the flow, okay, TK, I'm getting a point, I'm picking up a point. Once in a while you're winning. But on the other side now, you don't get a win, you're under a lot of pressure.
Yeah. Question, guys, before I go to Hiren about this game. Tommy Rich, one of the best signings in the winter transfer window.
History की तो मैं नहीं बता सकता, but I think for this season, for me, I think he is the most impactful.
Yeah.
For me.
He was also asking about Mirshad, saying no mistakes coming, but I saw a couple of howlers from him today. I mean, one he came and he completely.
But last में जो
I think.
No, but last में जो उसने
बता.
नहीं एक तो लास्ट में जो सेव किए, इसलिए वो मतलब लगता है कि आज उसका दिन था.
I mean, if Mirshad has to come off the line every game, it's a problem. On the line, like his save against Bryson, he's really a good commentator, you know. And but again, if he has to come off the line, he has to go this, you know, then it becomes very interesting as well.
Yeah, no, because I
Uh,
noticed a couple of times, even today, came off his line as in to clear from set piece situations. One, I think the first Karma Q chance came from a Mirshal mistake where he's come out and he's not got the ball. And towards the end of the game, he literally knocked out Nestor, I think. Like he just came and whacked him on the face. And yeah, so I think he has his troubles when
Yes,
yeah, when
वेदांत भाई ने क्वेश्चन पूछा रिगार्डिंग एएफसी कप भाई मैकार्थर वर्सेस सेंट्रल कोस्ट मरीनर भाई आप एएफसी कप का मैच फैन कोड के ऊपर देख सकते हो एएफसी के सारे मैचेस फैन कोड के ऊपर आपको देखने को मिल जाएंगे सो कल मैच है इंटरेस्टिंग मैच होगा लेट्स सी हु इज गोइंग टू फेस ओडिशा एफसी ऑन द 7th of March सेंट्रल कोस्ट मरीनर और मैकार्थर बोथ आर इन अ गुड फॉर्म सो इट विल बी इंटरेस्टिंग मैच फॉर इन ऑस्ट्रेलिया सो लेट्स सी
yeah, absolutely.
उसके अलावा भाई राहुल दूसरी गोवा भी खेल रही थी मैं वो मैच देख रहा था संतोष ट्रॉफी वाला बढ़िया मैच था अरुणाचल वर्सेस गोवा दैट वाज ए क्राउड भी अच्छा आया था गेम प्ले भी अच्छा था तो इट्स अ गुड मैच टू बी
Okay.
ऑनेस्ट
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. I know any additions on the Santosh Trophy, like Hiren's has mentioned.
Honestly, there was so much of football going on. I didn't bother about the Santosh Trophy today. You know, I watched the women's game.
True.
I watched the ISL game. I was wondering a little about what's happening here in Germany with this whole Bayern Munich situation. You know, so
Yeah.
the Santosh Trophy has gone past me so far. I'll most probably post show
बट आई थिंक
will have a look at it.
नहीं
To
नहीं
be very honest.
एएफएफ की एक तारीफ मैं करूंगा कि ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इस बार अच्छा दिखा है सो दैट्स द क्रेडिट आई हैव टू गो आई गिव बिकॉज जो हमने काफी बार ऐसा देखा है कि जब वो टूर्नामेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन पर्टिकुलरली लास्ट ईयर जिस तरह से उन्होंने सुपर कप किया था और सारी चीज सिचुएशन थी उससे आई थिंक दिस इज अ बेटर मैनेज टूर्नामेंट अभी स्टार्टिंग में लग रहा है जिस तरह से सारी चीजें उन्होंने स्टेडियम एवरीथिंग आई थिंक जो आज फ्लड लाइट्स और सारी चीजें भी थी आई थिंक इट्स लुक्स गुड ऐसा नहीं लग रहा कि कोई एक आपका बिल्कुल मतलब जनरली हम देखते हैं कि जो बाकी हमारे लोअर लेवल के जो टूर्नामेंट होते हैं सेकंड थर्ड फोर्थ ईयर के वो लगता है कि कोई एक अलग ही वो होता है सो उस सेंस में आई थिंक इट्स मच बेटर सो दैट्स अ गुड थिंग
Yep. Hiren, on the game, of course, I just wanted to ask you as well. East Bengal Jamshedpur, big again tomorrow. Big game. What are you making of it, and who do you think is going to come away with the win?
Jamshedpur East Bengal will be interesting, very interesting game because जमशेदपुर ने भी जिस तरह से सेकंड हाफ में पिकअप किया है अपना फॉर्म आई थिंक दे कैन बीट एनीवन आई थिंक पर्टिकुलरली जेरेमी मंजारो इन जिस तरह के फॉर्म में वो है I think he can be a difference maker and he can individually produce that kind of moment कि जहाँ पे वो जमशेदपुर को गोल स्कोर करके दे सकते हैं या फिर वो चांस क्रिएट करके दे सकते हैं so I think that is the capability he possesses सामने अगर आप ईस्ट बंगाल देखें so they also coming up with a win but I think due to their foreign जैसे सर ने बोला कि अभी एलेक्जेंडर पेंटिस भी आ चुके हैं so let's see अगर उनको स्टार्ट मिलता है तो how he is going to settle down everything will be interesting to see. I think Norem Mas and Lalchununa is coming back, so that's a positive news for them after the suspension. So I think it is going to be the equal fight. I don't see any clear favorites for this match, to be honest, because I think no doubt Jamshedpur is playing that at their home. I think so. That's the thing. But I still feel कि East Bengal has a after you can say coming up their two three crucial Indian players. I think they can put up a very good fight and maybe they can get a win also. But I'm expecting a draw to be honest in this match. I'm seeing a 1-1 draw.
The sad part is, guys, I don't know why, but whenever there have been favorable draws that we have predicted in favor, I mean, for me at least, it just hasn't happened in the last few days. But I don't know why, but it's yeah. Anyways, I know predictions for this one.
I would go with Hiren actually. But again, I also said yesterday, today, I think I would have said a good one would have been a draw. But yeah, I feel it's probably a 2-2.
Okay, interesting. Let's move on to the women's game then. India Estonia in the Turkish Women's Cup, winning 4-3 in the end. Hiren, thoughts on this?
गिर जाओ
I mean, you could hear
गिर
everything.
जाओ Yes, yes.
Yeah, Hiren.
I think it's a good start in our tournament in Turkey, beating a European side. No doubt, ranking चाहे भले ही उनकी हमारे से नीचे है, but I think overall, I think it's a positive start to get a win. But I think there are a lot of things so यहाँ पे definitely still needs to improve, and that's clearly visible on the field also. So that are the things कि जो यहाँ पे focus होना चाहिए कि विन आ जाने से मतलब वो नहीं हो जाना चाहिए कि भाई हम तो यूरोपियन साइड को भी बीट करने लगे, वी आर एट देयर लेवल. बट आई थिंक स्टिल द वुमेन्स का जो मैं मतलब मैं देखता हूँ जनरली, अभी मैं पिछले कुछ टाइम से जिस तरह से ये बारसा फेमिनी देखता हूँ, तो in women's football also player are in a, if you see quality wise, they are also producing a moment की जो आपको कुछ टाइम पहले जनरली वुमेन्स फुटबॉल में नहीं देखने को मिलते थे. तो दैट लेवल ऑल्सो गॉन हायर, एंड आई थिंक एक जो इंटेंसिटी भी मैच की है वो भी मेरे को लगता है कि स्टिल जो आज का मैच खेला गया, आई डोंट सी इन मैं मतलब ये नहीं बोला कि टॉप लेवल की, बट स्टिल आई थिंक इट्स जैसे हम बात करते हैं कि आईएसएल की जो इंटेंसिटी है ना आपकी इंटरनेशनल की कंप्लीट डिफरेंट है, तो उस सेंस में इस मैच की भी मेरे को उतना ज्यादा वो नहीं लगा. बट आई थिंक पॉजिटिव फॉर कोच एंड फॉर टीम 4-3 लास्ट में वो आई थिंक बेटर कर सकते थे 10-15 मिनट. तो वो जो लास्ट के 2 गोल खाए वो मे भी नहीं खा क्या बोलते कि ड्यू टू द सिली मिस्टेक. But I still feel कि there is a long way to go if we want to compete and if we want to qualify for the FIFA World Cup, to be honest, because the level is in women's football is also rapidly growing. ऐसा नहीं है कि धीरे धीरे लेवल बढ़ रहा है. If you see other countries are making a progress very rapidly, so I think that's where India also needs to be careful and plan accordingly, and then definitely we have a chance. But I think it's a good start.
Yep. Noah, what do you make of the game?
As I tweeted, I think the biggest positive was seeing Manisha Kalyan. I think Manisha Kalyan is much better as a player than when she was playing in the IWL. Whatever people say, if she's playing in Cyprus or elsewhere, I think she's a much more mature player. I think that's the biggest positive. Soumya was the other one. So in that way, those girls who are playing in Europe certainly have a level of experience which we didn't have in the past. But on the other side, as people are mentioning in the chat, defense is a little worrying. Shilki had to come in because we've had injuries. Sweetie Devi amongst others is not playing this tournament. We are very shaky. And again, I take the positive today and say, listen, we've won 4-3. Take it and and again and yeah. About the coach and what she was shouting, yeah, the less I say, the better, I think, and that's another proof why we need a foreign coach for our teams. I think that was the perfect
But I
example.
think
And sums it up.
but I think we need to say it, sir. I think हमने जब अपॉइंटमेंट भी हुई तब भी आपने बोला था कि एटलीस्ट आई थिंक वहां पे कॉस्ट कटिंग करने की कोशिश की गई है रादर देन सीइंग यू कैन से कि प्लेयरों की भी जो डिमांड थी विद थॉमस डेनेबरी.
See, the point here is it? I don't know if it's a cost cutting. Again, that's we can debate it, or if it's just complacency and saying, listen, we'll have to go out and search for a foreign coach, because that's not done in a day, right? You have to try and find. Thomas Dennerby has set the standard quite high with what he was trying to do and trying to achieve. And if you want to get someone of his quality, then you have to look around and find the right coach. I think in the women's game, coaches are not as costly as they are in the men's game, be it in the ISL or be it for the national team. So therefore, you could have gotten a good coach, a young, ambitious man or woman, doesn't matter to me, as long as the coach is good. But again, you went with someone, and to some extent, I think the individual brilliance for India won us the game today. Let's be honest about it, because our defense, against a better team, it doesn't matter if it's an Asian or a better European, African, whatever side, it would have gone to double digits, So therefore, for me, I take the win and be happy with it.
नहीं, दैट्स व्हाई मैंने सर बोला ना कि विन डेफिनेटली हमारे लिए पॉजिटिव रिजल्ट है, बट इससे ये मान लेना कि हमने कहीं कम्पिटिटिवनेस वाइज हम ऊपर चले गए, तो दैट विल बी आवर बिग मिस्टेक. In terms of the competitiveness wise, we are still far away, because जैसे आपने बोला कि अगर I would say टॉप 50 की कोई भी साइड होती, we will be still, जैसे आपने बोला डिफरेंस इज लाइक यू कैन से कि बिखरा पड़ा था, तो you will definitely consider 4 5 6.
You saw it especially with the second goal, right? They were not even aware where they're
हाँ.
standing. The striker just gets the ball and bangs the goal in, right? So and that to me is basic. So we sometimes, in the men's and women's game, from an Indian perspective, have to go back to the basics. That is my biggest concern, that sometimes you have to go back to the basics. So we saw it with the men's team as well at the Asian Cup, right? So therefore, also, Ego's team was saying game plan. I don't care about the game plan. No, because the point is sometimes is, you have a set of players where can you implement a game plan. So therefore, even in the past, Bob Houghton used to say it: do the basics right, and then let's see what we can do. And I think I stick to that. With the current status of where our team are, where our players are, let's see where it goes.
Yeah, I think there's a question game plan today. I just want to understand from you guys, were you able to figure out a certain pattern of play or a certain identity that we can sort of associate with the women's team now?
I find it according to the flow. I don't find any pattern or tactics where we are going. I think it's more, you can say, कि depend on the opposition team. सामने वाली टीम ने, एस्टोनिया ने भी कुछ ऐसी सिली मिस्टेक की है जिसकी वजह से भी हमने गोल स्कोर किया है. ऐसा नहीं है कि इट्स अ टोटल, यू कैन से, कि आपने एक क्या बोलते हैं कि बिल्डअप करके और पूरा गोल किया हो. आई थिंक दोस आर दी आल्सो थिंग्स. तो क्लियरली मेरे को कोई गेम प्लान नहीं दिखा, बट आई थिंक इट्स मोर अबाउट द सिचुएशन thing. ये chance मिला and you can score.
I think game plan is something which you can talk about when you watch the game live. I think watching a live stream where you're watching a very minuscule area of the field, I think you cannot have an opinion in regard to what the game plan is or was.
Game plan, exactly. Because of the with the ball नहीं, जो बाकी प्लेयरों की जो मूवमेंट है वो आपको देखनी जरूरी होती है अगर आपको गेम प्लान रीड करना है. तो यू कांट जस्ट कि कौन सा बंदा बॉल लेके जा रहा है, उसके अराउंड 2 3 प्लेयर है, तो कांट यू कैन से जज दी ओवरऑल गेम प्लान.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But are we too reliant on sort of magic from a couple of players in this team? Is that going to be a problem going forward? Now, Hiren, Manisha Kalyan, Anju
Yes.
Tamang, like, but you guys think we're too reliant on them?
I think 2 3 player. Indumati Kethisaran is also upcoming player. He has been looks promising. So I think definitely I completely agree. देखिए फ्रंट लाइन में वी हैव सम, यू कैन से, इंटरेस्टिंग प्लेयर, बट जैसे सर ने भी बोला कि डिफेंस इज समथिंग, एंड मिडफील्ड आई आल्सो से इन मिडफील्ड पर्टिकुलरली द होल्डिंग मिडफील्डर. आई थिंक संगीता, बेस्फोर एंड एवरीवन is there, but I still find कि there is a much more improvement is needed in the back line and in the midfield position, to be honest. Then we can definitely, because Anju Tamang, Indumati, Soumya Gogulat या फिर मनीषा, these are the some good players जिन्होंने यहाँ पे अच्छा किया. सो आई थिंक मिडफील्ड एंड बैकलाइन ऐसी है कि जहाँ पे डेफिनेटली द एरिया ऑफ इम्प्रूवमेंट.
Just take a few. So, I know rating the ISL's quality. Ankit saying that Tommy Rich came over and he's dominating defenders without being 100% fit. Is that worrying for us, or do you think this is the case?
We've had multiple players coming in over the years who are a little older, who have not played much and were able to play quite well, or players who've come in who've not played elsewhere on a regular basis and came in and went out again. That does happen. Juric is a quality striker at the end of the day, but you realize today that he was, overexerting himself in the penalty and injured himself. Hopefully it's not anything serious with the hamstring. So therefore, yeah, that's the I mean, we're talking about the standard again. If we're looking at players, men's or women's, this is the players we have to live with. We have to be honest that we don't have the quality to say that our teams will, revolutionize the way they play. So therefore, let's wait and see how it happens.
Yep. Fair enough. I know just on Santosh Trophy again. A couple of questions coming in on Assam.
I didn't see it, so
Well,
I again, I'll be honest. I didn't watch the
yeah,
Santosh Trophy, so for me, again, there was other football to watch, and again, Santosh Trophy is not amongst my priorities to be watching
yeah,
Indian football.
yeah.
So again, if whoever's doing well, congratulations to that. But it's again the Indian women's are playing and when there is an ISL game on, those are my priorities.
Yeah, yeah. In terms of structure, again, guys, back to Indian women. Hiren, what do you think has to be in place for us to achieve those goals and for us to take that next step? Because it does feel like we have a couple of flair players and they can pull stuff out of almost nothing. And in a way, that's already a great asset to have. What do you think is the next step for this women's team?
I think more and more competitive matches at their club level, and I think जितने से इसमें से जितने ज़्यादा player है वो I think definitely more competitive leagues Europe में I think जा सकती है. Then I think that's a good step to have, to be honest, to get you can say the next level in their career also and in terms of the national team's performance also. As sir mentioned, Manisha Kalyan in IWL and now totally looking different. That confidence, that you can say की quality is much more you can say की high. So in that sense, I think IWL is also now you can say कि इस सीजन से आपका एक प्रॉपर लीग फॉर्मेट में आ चुका है तो दैट्स अ गुड स्टेप वहां से आपको मे बी एक आध सीजन आप वहां पे अच्छा करके देन डेफिनेटली थ्रू ट्रायल्स यू कैन गो टू द यूरोपियन लीग्स and there is a one news coming up that another Indian women's player is going to foreign this in next couple of weeks. So these are the things जो I think जितनी ज्यादा होगी and अगर IWL एक यहाँ पे एक क्या बोलते हैं कि फीडर लीग बन सकता है यूरोपियन लीग्स के लिए देन आई थिंक दैट वुड बी द परफेक्ट फॉर द वुमेन्स फुटबॉल टू बी ऑनेस्ट to start their career in IWL, go into the Europe, play more competitive matches, and then you have a, you can say some very good, you can say potentially so player hai. They can reach their potential in their those competitive leagues, and that can be helpful for the national team also. So these are the next, I would say, maybe 5-10 years plan for women's football. We have to go for it.
Rana, would you urge the coach to sort of try different things in this current Turkish Women's Cup?
Let them do their best. You've won one game, you've got two more. Kosovo and Hong Kong will be interesting that they can do, and potentially there are scouts looking as well. And if something comes out for the girls, that's great. Again, people will be looking. See, the difference between the women's game and the men's game is simply you have now two players playing in Cyprus and in Croatia. So that is a little, and in the women's game they're much more open. So therefore, hopefully, some other girls can showcase themselves and maybe get an opportunity in Europe. That would be great.
And is there any reason, like, for the women being more open? Do you think there are a few reasons or factors that due to which these girls are going abroad and they're playing there and not just sticking to Indian football?
I think the difference between the men's and the women's game is that the salaries in the women's game aren't as close as high as they are in the men's game. I mean, they're
Okay.
not even as the same as applies in Europe as well. But for them, I think it is makes the opportunities are still there because it is much more basic than in the men's game.
Okay.
I think one factor is also the facilities and the professionalism. If you see IWL, no doubt started this season on a right note, but I think still if you see they are in terms of the professionalism wise or in terms of the facilities what player gets for the ISL, men's player. I don't think so. IWL player get that kind of you can say things. So maybe in European leagues, I think at least they get that more you can say in terms of the facilities and professionalism wise. That's also one of the factors. The player like to play in the maybe in a European league more than IWL.
Yeah, I think for women's football, again, the hope is that it sort of kick on and do well, and as many young female footballers go abroad, play there, pick up, I mean, hopefully pick up more things that they already have, and yeah, contribute to the Indian women's team. Guys, I think that's pretty much it. We've covered India, Estonia. We've covered Goa, Northeast. Tomorrow's game as well. So yeah, it's like Anuma said, it's going to be a fun weekend. We've got a lot of interesting ISL games up until Sunday. So stay tuned. Please do like and share these videos. Subscribe to the channels. Sports Kabri, Curious Harry, and Arun Foot. Yeah, we'll be back, guys. Good night.
Good
Good
night,
night.
guys.